Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided that I want to make more projects and more diverse. I want to bring more diversity in my YouTube channel. So this time I think this tutorial is for beginners, but also for people who want to start working in 3ds Max and create objects. So I decided to make a pretty quick, let's see on the way how quick is this, alarm clock. So this is some sort of hard surface in 3ds Max, but along the way we gonna get some help from zbrush. So we can start. Okay, let's drag this image away. I have 2 monitors, so my reference will be in the second monitor. The first thing that I encourage to do before you start creating your models is to work your models at scale, real scale in life. Why is that? Because the settings for rendering and especially the lights will be working way better and will be more realistic if the object is on scale, so the light will be creating the same scale like in real life. You will see along the way when you get the experience. Also, if you create an object, let's say a house, and you want to import it on another project that includes, I don't know, more houses, road, cars, etc. So you need that house to have the same real scale like your other objects. So you go in importing and the import will be on scale, on set. You do not need to rescale it, so you will not lose your word scale. Okay, let's start. Enough talking. The first thing, I'm working in centimeter, but you need to go to customize, unit setup, and you can choose from centimeter to millimeter, meters, depends on how big is your scene. But also you can go and work in US standard, feet, etc. or international. You can I set it international metric, and then you also need to go to system unit setup and choose your units: inch, feet, miles, millimeter, centimeter. I'm going to choose centimeter, so 1 unit, 1 centimeter. Press OK, and then OK. Now that we have our unit setup, we just need to guess, I guess, for this one, how big it is. So if we'll be on the desk, I'm guessing this guy will have the length of 25 centimeters and almost 10 in height, approximately. Okay, so first thing, let's make our box. We have on here length and width and height. So let's create it in the middle. Too long. Length, let's make the length on 20 centimeters. Doesn't matter, let's set it like this. Let's press F to see in the front. We can create another plane and just drag it like this. This will be our measuring example. So width, let's make it 25 and let's set it to 8 for now. By pressing P you can go in perspective and you can rotate. So let's go here, let's press F again. Now we can play with our settings. Let's make it 20. Honestly, I'm not that good on measuring, but let's make my best. So this is the width. Okay. So 25. Okay. 25. This is the height. So the length. The length, I guess, is around 20. Doesn't matter, we can change it later. Let's play with our height. By pressing F3, you can see wireframe. Nope, this one. Okay, let's press F3. Let's keep our measuring in the background like this. Let's go to hierarchy and press effect pivot and center the object. We can move it approximately to the center, doesn't matter. Like this, and drag it. As you can see, I'm not that good in measuring, but I'll be there in someday, doesn't matter. Let's go down with this one also. Okay, so we have it in the background. Now, the first thing that I want to make is our big shape, round shape. We have here some trail or something like that, and we have a hole over here, so we can make it or not, it's your decision, but we will try to make it. Also, for the clock we have a hole over here. So let's start. First things first, let's convert our object to editor poly. Right click, convert to editor poly. Now let's add some helping lines. Let's go to edge, one click on edge, and then let's go to ring. Go to connect, and let's add 2. Let's move it on the side, something like this. We can change it later, and press OK. Now let's go to modifier and search for turbo smooth. TU, enter. Let's bring 2, 3. Press 7 so you can see the total of poly you adding. This will be depending on your computer. Let's press P to go in perspective, and let's go. As you can see, when I'm selecting an object, we have our wireframe. So let's go to in the left corner to plus, go to configure viewport, and uncheck display selected with edge faces. Press OK, and now as you can see, we do not have it, only if we press F4. Okay. Next step is to add more helping lines. So let's go to edge, ring, and press connect. Let's press it OK for now, and then we can press our show end result, so we can edit from edit poly, but we'll see how it's looking with turbo smooth, as you can see. So let's go back to edge and let's select our edge. Drag it to the left. Nope, I forgot to press loop. Okay, something like this. If we check with our picture, we can see that we can add some height more. Let's uncheck our show end. Let's go to vertex, select the top vertex, as you can see, and just we can also press show end result, and as you can see we can make it bigger. Okay, now let's go to an edge, ring it and press connect. With right click we're gonna reduce to 1, sorry, also the pinch, so we can press OK, and let's find our approximate center. Okay, something like this. Now let's select our vertex, select this one and press delete. Why is that? Because we don't need for now to work on the both sides. We're gonna add some symmetry. So let's go to modify and search for symmetry. As you can see, the symmetry already is in place, but we need to go to symmetry, go to mirror and drag it to make it more. We can make it more bigger like this. Then go to enter poly, show end, press border, select our border and drag it to unite like this. So we have our approximative 25 centimeter length. Okay. Next step is to the border is more sharp, so let's go to the poly, select edge, loop and drag it more closely. Same to here, loop and drag it like this. Way better. If we want more sharpness, we can also add between these lines. So select this, ring it and press connect. We can move it closer. As you can see, we have it way more sharp. Maybe it's too much, but depending on your taste. But as you can see, we can adjust it on our likeliness. Perfect. We can delete this one. We do not need it anymore. I think it's good enough for now. Now let's make our inside clock hole. We uncheck turbo mode and we're gonna collapse all. So right click, collapse all. Yes. And we do not have symmetry any longer. Next step is to select our polygon, and this will be our face for clock. So select front polygon, press inset and drag it more like, no, let's keep it like this. Select this edge. We can also now delete again, go and add symmetry, and voila, we have on the both side again. Now we can go to add the poly, select our polygon, and let's go to extrude. Let's select local normal and then right click to go to 0 and drag it backward like this. I think this will be enough. Let's press OK, select this backface and delete it. Let's go into symmetry. Let's add again turbo smooth to see our hard surface result. As you can see, we need to add some helping lines in here. So let's go back to Edge Poly, Edge, ring it and connect. Let's add 3. Okay. And our clock start to show enough, I think. Of course, we can adjust this space because if I'm watching to our reference, this is bigger. So let's make it like in the picture. Front view, F3, select our interesting vertex and just drag it to the left. So it's looking more close to our clock, alarm clock. Also, we can adjust this length. Okay. Next, let's add this red trail. Let's go to Edge Poly, press F4. If you're showing with realistic with shadow doesn't help you, we can change it to shaded for more simple view. Let's go to P perspective. Around here. Okay, let's go to edge and add another connect. We do not need 3, we just need 1. That doesn't show us because we forgot to add ring, then connect and bring it close, something like this. Perfect. Let's add another one. Let's make it bigger. Now let's select our interior one and press ring, then by pressing Ctrl select polygon. Okay, and now let's extrude them. Too much. Something like this. Okay, now let's add some, of course we need to delete our borders polygons because we have symmetry. Perfectly. Now we just need to add some helping line. The first one is in here. Press connect and bring nearby. The next one is here. We just need to select on one edge, and by pressing Alt R we have our ring. Too close, something like this. Then we need to add inside. So again, on the keyboard, Alt R, we ring it. Connect. Let's add more. Over here, Alt R, connect. Now let's see what we have done. Let's go to Turbo Smooth. And we have our trail. Perfect. Next step is to add our, let's make our hole in this part, a small hole. I do not have the back picture, so I think in the back I'm going to make it from my imagination. Let's press F4 to see our wireframe, and we're gonna keep our symmetry for now. So let's add another line, ring, connect and reduce it to 1, press it, OK. Let's see if our shape change it, but not that much, I guess. We can select this vertex and drag it more to the left. Oops, only this one. Okay. Now let's add another line, ring it, connect close to our border, something like this. Press OK. And now we need to select our polygons to make our holes. This big one and this 4. Let's extrude something like this. Press OK, and now let's delete our borders. Oops, not that one. But actually we need to delete this one and this one, this one and this one, also this, because we need to add another line, and that line will be here. So let's press connect. Nope, I forgot to ring it again. Ring and connect. Bring it lower. Press OK. Now we need to connect our vertex. So let's press F, Z to go closer, and as you can see, these vertex are not united. So let's select it both and go to weld. Press OK. If we select it, we have united. Perfect. But because we need our shape to be more rounded, because we add adjust line, we need to select our vertex from this line and let's keep it in this one and drag it down in the middle, something like this. By pressing R, And let's select our Z for scale and drag it. We can make our line perfectly right, like this. Now if we go to turbo smooth, we kept our shape, but also we can make it now, because we have this line, we can select this vertex. Let's press show end and make it more like this. Let's select this vertex and go close and go back to our original clock shape perfectly. Now we need to think about some helping lines over here. We also, let's go bridge our edges, this edge, bridge, so we are connected now. Okay, now let's add some ring, but as you can see we have a small problem. If we ring it over here, we will add edge it like this and we won't have the shape curved. So we're not going to add our edges in this direction. We're gonna go to polygon and select this part, this polygon, this one and this one, and let's go to extrude. Nope, sorry, inset, and we can add our inset we want. Let's press OK, and now let's go to turbo smooth. Much better. Let's add another helping line. Ring it and let's press connect. Press OK and let's go to turbo smooth. Perfect. So we have our hard surface based watch. If I'm watching good, we have this oval shape, so let's make it. We can go to the poly and let's select this vertex and just drag it. Let's select this one. Yep, something like this. I think it's pretty decent. Perfect. Next step is to make this shape, this second shape of our clock. So the way I recommend to make it fast is to go to polygon, select this base, let's say this one, like this. We have a lot of possibility to make this another shape. You can go and detach it and detach as clone, or you can go to shift, press shift and just drag the Z up and clone to object. So as you can see, if we select it, we have another object. Let's drag it up. Let's select another color so we know which one is which. Now let's go to add shell. Enter. We can change our shell. So let's add it backwards. Okay, let's go and add on edit poly on top, so we can go back if we. I encourage you to work like this, because if you make something wrong in this one, you can just delete it, add another one, and you can go back to your base one. Let's delete this. And let's go add symmetry. Perfectly. As you can see, the symmetry kept our length like the clock. Okay, let's add some adjustment lines, ring it, connect, and spread it. Symmetry, then let's go and add turbo smooth. And this will be way. Of course we can add it in we can drag it down, but we shall see that later. We can add some helping lines over here. Just one. Way better. So the line don't run away that much. Let's go and select our vertex and drag it more close to have this space. Let's make it bigger. Okay, we are going closer and closer. Watching closer, I do not see this border that clean. And also, I think this snooze button, it's a separate one. So we can leave it like this, or we can cut it. But I think I'm going just adding another shape, so I'm not gonna cut it down. But let's change this to sharp edge. Let's select this one, loop, and drag it down. But before, let's see how it's gonna look. Yes, something like this. Okay, I think this is much better, so it's not that sharpened. We can go closer. Okay, now let's add our snooze button. I won't cut it this time, but I'm thinking that if I will cut it, will be more helpful with our other buttons from the back to make our holes. But let's keep it like this. Top view, and now let's close this vertex. Something like this. Now let's select, we have already selected our line, and let's go to chamfer before. As you can see, from one line I made it two. Okay, let's select this, ring it, then press Ctrl and select polygon. Now let's extrude it down, normal, and let's extrude it down. Delete this too. Let's add some, oops, that was too much extrusion. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Extrude again. Put it to normal. And let's watch it from this angle. Oops, something like this. Okay. Delete this too. Let's start adding adjustment line. 1, 2, 3. This one. Ring it, connect. Let's take a look. We destroy our mesh. Why is that? Because on symmetry this line are too close, so we need to go to symmetry and reduce from centimeters. So let's set it 0.01, and if we go to turbo smooth, we are good, or not. Or we are. No, something is off. No, we needed to add more turbo smooth to have a more clean hard surface, but it's because of the shade I'm getting confused that I have errors. Anyways, let's say that this is our snooze button, but let's add more shape to it. Let's play a little more with it, and also let's make it smaller. Okay, fair enough. Next step, let's go down with this one. So let's select these polygons. Let's drag it. I won't go make another extrude. Then let's select this, guys, and now let's make our extrude. Oops. Press OK. Now let's see how it's looking like this. I want to make it more, not that sharp. So let's select this vertex. Okay, as this one. Okay. Another helping line. Let's keep it to 3 and just yep. My mistake is that I didn't select this one, but I think yep, no, I'm gonna keep it like this. Let's go back and add another connect line. That's fine. It doesn't matter that we have this beautiful flow. Okay. Next step. Let's add our front glass. But before that, if I'm watching to my reference, I see that I have another hole in here. You can skip it or create it. I'm not really sure that we need to make it another hole in the clock, because this will be behind our clock glass. So what I'm going to do is, let's go into front view and create another box. This is created behind, doesn't matter. So we can just add this box where we can make an UV unwrap and add our clock texture. Also, you can add text into this Max. It's not important that you have added texture, but I'm going to go with texture for this tutorial. Okay. If we choose to type in the words, let's say by example adding snooze, so let's go to T, Z, I mean top, and Z to close up our object. Let's go to shapes and press text. If we press in here, we can see our huge text. Let's type S on Z, snooze, and make it small. We can change our font. Let's see, Arial. I don't know which one do you think that's more appropriate. We can play with distance. Let's bring it to top, make it smaller, and now let's go and add some bevel. Of course, we can also add, let's delete this one and just add a simple extrude. And we have our snooze. If we add edit poly, we can also add chamfer if we want. But I think the I have fuck it. We can play with our shape to be more close to our reference. So let's drag this to be more close, something like this. Okay, way better. So we need to add our glass. So let's isolate our object by pressing Alt Q and select these polygons again and just drag it. By pressing Shift, drag it in front. Make it clone to object, so we have another object. Perfect. Now we can add symmetry and shell. As you can see, we have it over there. Let's isolate it. Let's move it to the center and add the poly and some helping line. Perfect. And now add turbo smooth. 3. Change the color. So this will be our glass. We can go to M, material, and let's choose this one. Add refraction to 0. And if we apply it, we can see through our glass, window glass. Okay, next step is to add some buttons that we need over here. I think that overall our clock is too long in the back, so let's shrink it a little bit. Let's select this vertex and make it something like this. Select this one, move it out like this. Let's move it closer. Yep. So we have it more smaller. Perfect. So let's start working on buttons. The first thing we need to do is to make our holes, and I'm thinking to make them in ZBrush because it's way easier. So let's analyze our mesh. We have our symmetry, but we also have one in the middle. Okay, so we need to add one line. Something here, let's make it perfectly right. And in here we should have our big button. But if I'm looking on this reference, this button is in the middle of these two. And these are in symmetry. Okay. So we need to add 2 more. One in here and one in here. Let's make it perfectly right. Okay, so this button will be adding in this place, one in here and this one in here. So the connection will have it like this. So let's add another line over here and one in between. We can adjust this one so for turbo smooth will be smooth. Okay, let's isolate this one and export it to desktop like clock. Nope, not VBX, we need it OBJ. And ZBrush preset, export. Now let's go to ZBrush, import clock, drag it and press T. Let's go to wireframe, press BZ modeler. So we say that we need to add one over here, one hole here and one hole here. So press B and go to split and just drag. Let's make it something like this, and let's make, just press left click and it will be the same size. Let's export it to 3ds Max again. Actually, yeah, let's keep it like this. Yes, let's copy this through, delete this one, import our clock and keep it to objects. Okay, let's add some smooth. Now let's delete this one, isolate it, and if we press right click we have our symmetry. Perfect. The only thing is that we need to make them longer. Let's go to edit poly and select our interesting vertex. Deselect the one that we do not want to use. Okay, now let's press R to scale and just drag. We can also move it a little bit so we can make them bigger. Just Ctrl Z. Now let's go to border, select these two borders, and by pressing shift we're gonna drag down. By pressing R and pressing shift again we're gonna drag our borders, then just press cap. Let's add some helping lines. Ctrl R to ring it, connect. Okay, now let's go to turbo smooth. So we have our alarm time, etc. buttons. Perfect. Now we can go to edit poly. Let's select our polygon, these two, grow, and press shift and drag it up, clone to object, select them, press shell. Nope, because we need to reset scale. So let's go to reset text form, reset selected, right click, convert to edit poly. Now let's press again shell and amount up. We can add helping lines edge from here, so we can go to add segments 1, 2, 3, and if we press turbo smooth, we have our buttons. Let's go and add our symmetry, and here we go with the first clock buttons. But I thought that the distance from the clock is not good, so this symmetry is not where I want to be. It's something like this. We can also move it. Okay, much better. Now let's add our bigger button. So let's go to edit poly, symmetry, uncheck our turbo smooth, right click, convert to edit poly, isolate by alt click, and export as clock again. Let's go to ZBrush, keep this one, just import it like this, and let's drag our bigger alarm clock. Export. We can delete this one. Let's import her. Apply some smooth and isolate this one. Going top view, we can delete this one, and let's make the same. Let's select our vertex, and select that one, the one that we do not need, and just let's make them this one big, something like this. The same procedure, the same process, sorry, and apply turbo smooth. Okay, the only difference is that our big button is a little bit different than the restaurant. Also, I think this one are bigger, but we will leave it like this for now. So I need to isolate this one, go to edit poly, and let's see what we can add. What's happened if we go like this and this? Yep, I think I'm there. Next step is to make our off on alarm. So let's go to our polygon, let's grow it, shift, drag it, press OK. Not that perfect. Let's see how we gonna approach this one, because now that we have this plane, we can isolate it by pressing Alt Q, and let's connect this through vertex by pressing connect. Okay, now let's delete this through because we're gonna use symmetry again, and let's arrange a little bit this object. Okay, now we need to let's loop this line and press shift, adding this new polygon, and let's select this one and extrude it backward, something like this, because we need to make this one like a concave one. Okay, next step is to, now before we do this, let's apply shell backwards. Let's erase this one, and now let's add edit poly and make our extrude again, something like this. Okay, and if we apply symmetry, and let's apply too much symmetry, so let's add another 0 and go to mirror. Okay, let's apply a turbo smooth to see what happens. We are close from what we want to make. We just need to add some helping lines, one over here, I want to increase a little bit this space so we can make it bigger. Let's add more helping line. We could go deep with this one. So let's go deep. Also, let's not make it that sharp, this line. So drag it drag it down. Okay, I think we are close. Of course, we can play more. We can add some difference. And let's scale it down, because this button is not that big. Let's play more to see where we can go. Yes, I like it more like this. Also, I think I can increase this too. Okay, I think this is all with that button. Our big shape is finally there. We just need to add our writing. We can make this one smaller. We can also change anytime our font type, so that's not a problem. Let's make all of this black, shiny black. So apply this one. Change the color to black. Let's add some reflection. Let's play with glossiness. So as you can see, we have some cool glossiness in viewport. Perfect. Let's double click and select the back ones, and this one we can duplicate, make it more grayish, and let's add just a bit of refraction. In here we can add our writing, that we can make it from textures or writing directly, but let's make an UV wrap to this one and add it with texture. So press Alt Q, let's close our material, let's right click and convert to the poly, press UV wrap UV, and open our editor. Let's apply check my painter so we can see with what we are working. The main interest is only display, so we can delete our UV unwrap. Let's select this one, press Ctrl E and delete. So let's go back to UV unwrap, open, let's go to polygon and let's press our plane and working with aligning. Okay, this one is, check make again. Let's go to tool, relax, relax by polygon angle, start relaxing and apply. As you can see, our square are perfectly. We just need to go to freeform mode, press Ctrl Alt and pick a corner and put it in the square. Now we just need to add our texture. To do that, we need to go to tool, render UV template, and we can choose our size. Let's keep it this one because you can change it the pixel you want. So let's render and save like JPEG and save it like UV. Okay, now let's go to Photoshop. I already found something on internet. You can set whatever you want. Now let's go to File, Open, and find our UV. This one. So let's copy, Ctrl A, C, Ctrl V, copy. So let's adjust the size. Something like this. And now we can save it like Photoshop, like JPEG, doesn't matter. Okay, let's close this one. We can collapse it. Press M for material. Go to diffuse. Go to bitmap, desktop, UV, and press assign. Let's show our material, and here we are with our clock. Okay, we need it bigger. Let's make it bigger. So we're going to go to Photoshop, press Ctrl T, press Alt Shift, and let's make it bigger. Let's see how bigger we can make it. Okay. Save it again. JPEG. Replace it. Okay. Now we have this clock bigger. Okay guys, I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I hope you learned something. I'm thinking to make a render tutorial to make it more presentable for your portfolio if you want. Okay, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like it if you want. See you next time. Take care.